The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
Hey, I'm B, she, they.
Hi, I'm Dalia, she, they.
Hi, I'm Brandon, he, him.
And this podcast is based on true events.
Glad to be here finally.
I feel like we linger on the on a little bit. You say finally, but this isn't the first time that we've recorded a podcast the day before it's supposed to go out.
My bad.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, this...
Yeah, no, you got nothing to be sorry
You got nothing to be sorry about.
It's usually my fault.
Well, the thing is, like, that's why we plan out sooner, so if things happen, we have leeway. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a good way to think about it, at least.
We are prepared. We are. Vibe checks, how are we?
Prepared. Sorry.
I see we're singy today.
I love that song.
What were you saying, by the way?
Vibe checks?
Vibe checks. I'll go.
Bye.
Okay.
I am feeling a lot better. I got a better spring in my step for the past 2 weeks. I have been having really bad sciatic nerve pain. I just woke up with it a couple weeks ago. It sucked, and then it was getting better throughout last week, and then last Saturday we were supposed to go to the Asian Food Fest. We did go. I say supposed to. No, we did. But that morning before going, I bent down over to pick up like a McDonald's bag, and I felt like 2 pops in my lower back, and I almost collapsed. You saw. You were there.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was bad.
It was scary.
So we rotated ice packs and heat pads, and then my back feels better now. I've got like there's a little bit down there to I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? But other than that, it's fine.
We should probably still do the ice packs and heating pads.
Sure.
At some point, maybe later. Just
I don't mind
case.
being pampered. Sure, that's fine.
I like pampering you.
But what I'm saying is I feel great right now, like comparatively. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful day out. Windows are open a little bit.
Oh, it's beautiful out there.
It is. It's very pretty.
Every now and then a bird will fly by and I'll go. Just
maybe
my jaw goes slacking.
Maybe we should close the window.
Pretty bloody.
I bumped the mic. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I like birds.
Yeah,
bulbs.
Birds are great.
I like birds a lot. I can't wait to get a bird feeder that has a camera so I can look at the birds. I want one that identifies the birds.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a smart one, you know?
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
I still love them, though.
Do
you guys have a favorite bird?
Yes, mourning doves. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that one is? You do. I've told you about it. So. Yeah, it's the nostalgic bird noise from our childhood. That's my favorite mourning dove.
Surprise, surprise.
They're extinct, aren't they?
Nope.
No, we still hear
you can still hear them. They're still here. I got a picture of one, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
They're nowhere around my house.
I heard a woodpecker and saw a woodpecker for the very first time in my life.
Yeah?
Yes. I was very excited. We heard it. I was like, what was that? And he's like, woodpecker. I said, a woodpecker? I got my ass out of the couch.
Yeah.
And you know I like that couch. I sink down in that couch. I get stuck in that couch. I got out of that couch and went on the front porch and followed the noise until I found the little woodpecker. It was just a little guy. It was just a little guy. I was so happy though. Oh my god. Do you have a favorite bird? Sorry, I kind of stole the conversation.
Chickens. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Chickens.
Look
they
at all
taste good.
those
Does this really count as a bird though?
Yes, they're birds. Yeah, but do you have a favorite wild bird? I guess chickens can be wild too, but I mean birds you don't eat.
Ostriches.
Is it because of the eggs?
Because they're fast.
Zoom.
I know that ethically and morally I probably couldn't do this, but I want to ride an ostrich so bad.
Like that one cowboy in Rudolph?
Yeah, I was just trying to think about where was that from?
Cowboy who rides an ostrich.
Yeah.
We're all misfits.
Fantastic. Also, vibe check for me, well caffeinated. Yeah. Doing great.
I can tell.
Feeling hip. Feeling sunshiny. Amazing. I've been streaming for 2 months now, ? And overnight, the night before, I reached 100 followers on Twitch.
Hell yeah.
Which is crazy for, I know, that's, it's 100, which isn't like a crazy number.
No, it's a good.
But for someone
it's a
who
very
just
good
built
starting
from
number,
like
yeah.
nothing in 2 months, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Before you ever say 100 is not a big number, I want you to imagine you're sitting at your computer desk playing your little game, and there's fucking 100 people standing behind you in your room watching you.
Or at the
I
very.
don't like that.
That's a lot of people. Yeah, be proud of that 100. Be proud of that 100
Do
people.
not perceive the doll, please.
I'm very proud of the fact that like I have more. By the time I in stream, I usually have more people watching me than I ever really did before. Like when I streamed years ago, and way more than I expect ever. And it's like, oh, that's nice. That's cool.
It's a good feeling.
I get a lot of lurkers. I have like some mutuals.
I love a good lurker.
Yeah.
I love a good worker because I love to just yap, and don't get me wrong, I love to talk to chat, but I'm fine yapping on my own, and then people are there. I'm like, cool. They heard me. I'm good.
Oh, shameless plug though. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch or like at least like check me out, you don't have to drop a follow.
We're all on Twitch, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we all are. Me specifically, my username is Haunted. You know how to spell Haunted, probably, right?
If they're here, they better.
Doll, but like doll is spelled D-A-L because my name is Dalia.
Yeah.
So yeah, Haunted Doll, and I am a VTuber. And I'm a vampire doll making VTuber, and it's been really fucking fun. So,
and when she started up, I rebranded. We talked about this all before, but I rebranded all my stuff, so it fits my vibe more, like all the stuff that I have like presenting out there. I'm Zom_Brandon, so Zom Brandon, because my nickname for my band Call Me Ghost was Zombie, or like my stage name, I guess. So there's that, and that's also why like my character on our profile picture is of me being a zombie.
Yep. Mine's a broken porcelain doll.
And yours is a doll, yeah.
Yeah. You want to plug?
I mean,
you'll get back to it. You should plug.
I'll get there eventually. I'm Pollinator on Twitch, like Pollinator. Haha, get it? POLLYNADER.
Yeah.
I'm there. You can find me. There's a little channel trailer. You can check me out.
She'll be back soon.
I'm figuring it out.
Soon, later, whenever.
But there's channel trailers, there's VODs, there's clips, there's whatever if you want to take a look.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Gets an influx of
yeah.
followers.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I gotta.
Listen, I can't tell you the last time I streamed, but I still get a monthly check from Twitch. Because
Really?
a lot of my friends are still subbed, yeah.
Yeah. I had that for a while, and then like I hit like the couple year mark, and I was like, I started feeling bad because like, guys, what's going on? But
Yeah.
no, yeah.
I've talked to those people, and they told me to sit down, shut the fuck up, and cash that check. So that's what I did.
I mean, yeah.
Weird.
And yeah, it's just people who want to support you, right?
Yep.
That's what it's about.
Yep.
And they get your emotes.
And they get your emotes.
I love my emotes so much.
I do too. They're adorable.
I don't see myself changing them anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
I mean, I kept my old ones, but I was like, I'm gonna draw some new ones. So I made some of my own emotes.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of those.
I like the cake one.
I don't think I know the cake one.
Oh, Mike. So one time, Dalia and Jordan made me a birthday cake a few years back when we were still in the trailer, and it had eyes and teeth on it, and it was crazy. I made that into an emote.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really creepy looking.
Yeah. Didn't we name it like Alejandro or something like that?
Something.
Alejandro.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
That's sick. I think I remember that cake.
Yeah. Yeah, how's your vibe check though, B?
Mambo number 5 is on repeat in my head to silence the voices in my head. I'm here having a great time. Did you know Mambo number 5 is a line dance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you not?
I knew that.
No, I did. I thought about it today.
That's a song I unfortunately grew up with. So yes.
I was more of a Cotton Eye Joe kid myself.
Man,
Yeah.
Lou Bega, let me tell you. That man, even as old as he is,
Really?
he is fine.
Huh.
Yes.
I don't think I know what he looks like.
Oh, he's beautiful.
This guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
You know what? I get it.
I like his suit.
He's
Tastes
51?
like cola. Love that song.
He's 51? He sure don't look it.
Yep.
All right, well.
Telling you, that man is fine with a capital F.
Well, are we about ready to jump headlong into the stories? I got a couple of them today. I've got two small ones to start out.
I don't have a long head. You do.
Okay.
What you talking about, friend?
What you talking
His dome. He said headlong. I
I
don't have a long head.
I
You
see.
do.
I see.
I see.
Why the long face?
Why are you making fun of me?
Anyway, so as with usually with my shorter stories, I don't really have an intro for these, but I am just going to kind of jump into it. So as told by the show Paranormal Survivor, I give you the tale Growl of the Spirit Board.
Great.
Sorry.
1989. Marina Duarte. I think it's Duarte. Marina Duarte. Is that how you say that? Is that Duarte? Duarte?
Yeah, I would think so.
Duarte?
Yes.
Duarte.
Duarte? Okay. Sorry, let's try that one more time. 1989. Marina Duarte was about 13 when she and her family moved into an apartment in Sao Paulo, Brazil. She was excited to be moving to a big city, and she was just about to start high school, so she felt like it was the perfect time for a change in her life. That perfect feeling, however, would not last long. One day after moving in, Marina's mother brought home a spirit board, thinking it would be something fun for her and her daughters to play with. For those of you who don't know, a spirit board is just another name for a Ouija board. It's the same thing.
A Ouija board?
A
Luigi board.
While Marina's sister was on board, Marina was hesitant. Eventually, though, her mother and older sister were able to convince her to join them in playing with
Wait,
this
the
board.
mother and the kids were playing together?
Yes, so the mother brought home the spirit board
No, yeah, I got that, but
to play with her daughters.
My mom threatened to banish me if I ever brought a Ouija board home.
Well,
that's just a weird thing. It still boggles my mind that a Ouija board is a
I know my
kid's
mom.
game.
My mom said she used to play with them as a kid. They used to just be like, "Who will I get married to?" That kind of thing. So, I mean, a different time, I guess. But this is her older sister, so the youngest one was the only one that felt like she had some sense, in my opinion. They eventually they did pressure her to join in, though. Marina has always felt a bit more sensitive to supernatural things. She sometimes thought that she could feel things that others couldn't. She thought that playing with the spirit board would not yield anything good. As they started to play with the board, things started out all giggly and lighthearted, and then the planchette actually seemed to start moving on its own. Marina started to feel very uneasy, and like something really negative had just entered the room. She hears a growl come from right next to her ear. It sounded really angry, like a dog that was itching to attack. But looking over to her mother and sister, neither of them seemed to have heard it. Marina starts to cry as a panic sets in, and while her sister thought that she was just overreacting, her mother seemed to realize that it might not have been as fun of an idea to play with the spirit board as she initially thought, and ends up throwing the board out entirely. Since the experience with the board, Maria couldn't help but feel anxious when in the apartment. She started to feel like she was never alone, like something was always there with her, watching her. But she always did her best to ignore it. One night, as she lays down for bed, she starts to feel an inexplicable feeling of terror overcome her, like the kind of fear that makes you freeze in place, makes you hold your breath. Marina then starts to hear the sound of a woman crying. But as if it was very far away, it could almost be mistaken for someone through the wall in the other apartment. But as she lays there listening, the noise seems to gradually get closer and closer, to the point that it sounds like there was a woman standing right next to her bed, crying into her ear. This whole time, Marina remains too afraid to move from her position or call out to her mother. She couldn't even open her eyes, too afraid to actually see something next to her. Finally, gathering up everything within her, she calls out for her mother. Her mother runs into the room and comforts Marina, saying she must have just had a nightmare, but still allows her to sleep in the parents' room. Marina also expresses that she didn't feel safe in her room. And from that night on, Marina actually slept in her mother's room on a cot situated at the foot of her parents' bed. Now, Marina grew up in a very Catholic household, so her apartment was filled with a lot of crucifixes, religious statues, and the like, right? Marina even had a good amount of small porcelain religious statues in her room on her dresser. One day, as she entered her room to get ready for school, she found that on almost all of her statues, the heads had been broken off
Oh,
Damn.
fuck that.
with no explanation. Right away, she calls her mom and dad in, who are absolutely shocked by what they find. And this is when Marina starts to think that maybe something demonic might be in her house. One night, Marina is watching TV with her older sister Lily after their parents had gone to bed. Lily's 6-month-old son Louis was asleep in his bassinet in her room, in Lily's room, right?
Pause. Is Lily the older sister?
Lily is the older sister,
Okay.
yes. Suddenly, the sisters feel like they can hear something and turn the TV down to get a better listen. The two looked at each other as it became clear that they were hearing what they were hearing was singing. Soft singing, almost like a lullaby. Marina recognized it right away. It was the same voice as the woman she had heard crying that one night. The sound seemed to be coming from Lily's room. The two stand and start to make their way down the hall. As they approach the room, they can hear a slight creaking, like the sound of the bassinet makes when it's being rocked. The singing got gradually louder as they approached the room, but once they opened the door, it had stopped completely. Lily was terrified by this encounter because whatever this was had just interacted with her son. One day, as Marina arrives home from school, she hears her mom calling her name from her parents' room. She sounded as if she was happy to see her. But upon following the voice to the room, Marina is surprised to find that her mother wasn't there. She looks around, but she can't find her anywhere. Upon entering the kitchen, Marina sees a note taped to the fridge explaining that her mom had gone with her dad to a doctor's appointment and that she wouldn't be home for a little bit.
Ooh.
She wasn't home at all. Suddenly, from behind her, the phone starts to ring. Picking it up, Marina is greeted by nothing but the sound of static. Thinking the phone must just be messing up, Marina hangs up. Sitting down on the couch, it starts to set into Marina that she is completely alone in this apartment. She decides that she wasn't going to think too much about it. She would just warm up her dinner, sit down in the TV room, turn it up real loud, and just hope that her parents made it home soon. Because what else can you do?
That's what I would do.
As she goes to execute her plan, Maria starts to hear what sounds like the door to the TV room being kicked. Hard. Over and over again, as if somebody was trying to break it down. She stands, fearing what was going to happen next. But if it could break a door in, what could it do next? The banging stops, and Marina watches as it casually just swings open, revealing nobody on the other side. Marina runs from the room and runs straight to her parents' room. She grabs the rosary on her mother's nightstand and just starts to pray. The moment she starts this, things start to go crazy in the house. All of the doors start to open and slam shut over and over again. The taps for the sinks and the shower was turning off and on. It felt like a tornado was ripping through the house. Like whatever entity was there did not want Marina doing what she was doing right now. When everything stopped, Marina felt a bit relieved, but still didn't feel like she was safe. After telling her parents about everything that had happened, they decided to speak to a priest the very next day. The priest was taken aback by the claims and agreed to bless the apartment, believing that this would protect the apartment and the family. While the paranormal events did indeed calm down after this, the family still had a hard time feeling comfortable in the apartment. And pretty soon, the family decides to move out, leaving behind the feeling of unease and that whatever had haunted them had bestowed upon them.
Jesus Christ.
So it didn't follow them?
There was no reports. It didn't seem like anything happened after that, which I agree is a bit odd and different for a seemingly, like a spirit that seemingly was called through a spirit board or a Ouija board, right?
Yeah.
Because usually that stuff will stick with you there. But again, I feel like people want to assign rules to like paranormal and like the spiritual realm and stuff, and I just don't think there are.
It's because they want to understand it.
And I get that. Like I get that, and I think even in our like realm, in our world, there are so many things that people assign rules for, but then there's so many things that people just don't understand, and I just don't think we're gonna understand everything, especially in that like realm of being, right?
You look like you're holding on to something.
It's so funny for me to hear Brandon say that when him and I both are on tape yelling, "There are rules!"
Well, what were you doing? It's funny.
Yeah, it's different, you know. But I would like to point out that at the beginning of the encounter, they didn't dismiss or say goodbye.
They didn't. She just threw away the board.
Yeah,
just threw it out.
The Ouija board, which is like, you know, that's rule number 1. You know, you want to talk about rules? There's rules there, right?
Yeah, there's rules to what you can do. And you're right. Like, people want to assign rules, and some things seem to work, but then we also have things where they'll do what seems to be everything right, and none of it works, right? Mm-hmm. So I think there's just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of strengthens my idea that it all does hinge on belief.
I was going to say power and belief. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, when she grabbed the rosary and all that, and it,
everything started going crazy. Yeah.
I got to thinking about a moment in Fright Night.
Yeah.
Where the guy grabs the cross and the vampire is like, that only works if you have faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea though, because it really hinges on the idea that we are, you know, strong, we are powerful.
Yeah. And I do want to approach this because like a lot of people will hear like power and belief and be like, see, it is all in your head, and it's like, that's not what I believe at all. What I believe is that the belief that you are putting out is like manifesting this like kind of barrier, or it's like maybe these spirits, like these non-human spirits, maybe there's things that have been here since the creation or since the beginning. And like it's like how there's a school of thought that we can create these things called tulpas, where like absolute belief in something can create like a spirit or a god or something. I think it's like the same thing, is like our minds are so much more powerful than we give them credit for.
I think it's awesome.
I do too.
I love this subject.
But that's to say, I don't think it's fake or all in your head. I think we create this
energy,
very real thing. Yeah. Yeah, for real.
But I think like when she started hearing the laughing, and she was able to recognize the voice as the same one that was crying, that must have been a really distinct voice.
It was the singing, not laughing. There was a
singing. Sorry, yeah. So I even wrote singing. I just said laughing for some reason. So anyway, when she heard the singing, she recognized it as the crying, which to me has to be a pretty distinct voice to be recognized like for the same thing, because crying and singing are, I mean, I guess they can be similar depending on what kind of singing you're doing, but
honestly I don't think it's that different than you think, because it could be a different emotion, but the tones are there, you know what I mean?
Especially if it's like a whale cry, they're wailing.
And I guess something like that would stick with you, especially as young as she was.
Also,
how scared
creepy
she was.
is that? Because, like, because I can just picture myself being like, all right, it's far enough away. That must be, we're in an apartment. That must be someone else. But for it to constantly be getting closer, I can just feel like that anxiety build that whole time. Like, oh man, I really hope I'm not. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, it goes to show, like, these things really do go after people when they're alone, and they really prey on who they think is, like, the weakest.
It does feel like that a lot of times.
Like, the age, like, she's the youngest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, when she was alone and all that shit went down.
Yeah. Also, I think she said she was 13 at the time. Imagine being 13, or imagine having a 13-year-old be. Imagine your kids being 13 and being like, I'm scared enough, I need to sleep in your room
Don't tell
still.
B to imagine their kids.
No, you're right. Don't do that. But, like, just in...
I have aphantasia. I can't imagine.
You know what? We're good. We're all good to go.
Hey, B, picture an apple.
No. That's funny because
I'm going home, guys.
That's funny because I was just about to be like, hey, B, guess what I'm doing?
Piss off.
I can see an apple right here.
I've got a stick bug doing its little dance in my head right now.
Oh, now I do too. Except it's like the cinnamon guy from the Apple Jacks commercials.
That's completely different.
Turns up,
yeah,
Mambo
but it kind of
number
looks like a
5
stick.
louder.
Oh, I get it.
No, really, I can listen to music so loud in my head that I can drown other people out.
I love that. No, yeah, I'll look at him sometimes and be like, "What you listening to?" Mm-hmm. And then it's just like a conversation we have.
Yep.
Because it's real.
Yeah. I can't see nothing worth a shit in my head. But,
What you listening to right now? Still Mambo number 5?
Tanzid by Electric Callboy.
Okay.
The like bass breakdown point.
But back to
Love Electric Callboy.
Back
Anyway.
to the subject, though. But like, I only say that because B, you're the only one of us with a kid. So like,
My kids are close enough. My oldest will be 11 this year, so I'm with you.
So like, yeah, I can't, because I can only imagine me being 13. I would feel embarrassed needing to sleep in my parents' room. So you must be really scared to have to do that, right? Mm-hmm. Like,
I've got like an open bed policy with my kids. They sleep on their own beds most of the night.
Sure.
But every night, if they're having a bad day, I let them come get in bed with me.
Right.
But
my mom used to do the same thing with me growing up.
yeah, even my boy, with him being as big as he is, he's come get in
like
here,
I was in
snuggle.
middle school and I would just be like, I can't sleep in my bed and your bed's comfier. Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am 28 years old and I still climb in my mom's bed. 'Cause I don't know what it is about her bed, but her
Right.
bed has always been comfier than mine. Scoot over,
What
let
the fuck
me
is
in.
the deal with that? Any other thoughts on this before? I know it was a shorter one, so probably not as many. But any other thoughts before we get to the couple pictures that I have? Anything else
I'm
you wanna
good.
bring up?
We
No,
touched
it's just
on it.
it's just a really creepy thing that happened to her growing up, and thankfully it did not follow her.
Yeah.
All right, so this first one is just the normal picture. This is Maria, and then
Maria or Marina?
Marina. Sorry. You're right. Marina Duarte. And then this next one is of the spirit board that was depicted in the show. Let me know when that gets there. It's like, yeah, it's a Ouija board, all right.
A
That's
Waluigi
it.
board.
A Waluigi board.
Wallowing.
That's the thickest planchette I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I will say. That shit. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty basic pictures, but that's all I really had. There wasn't really any visuals, or she didn't really see this thing. It was a lot of noises and like poltergeist activity, for lack of a better word, which like that does just happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't always get to see. There's not always this big, scary looking demon. Sometimes it's like your faucets are turning off and on, your doors are slamming, and you're hearing a woman crying, and that's enough in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough to like the family get me the hell out of there.
In my house, it's slamming cabinets until I yell for it to stop, and it stops. Quit fucking slamming my cabinets!
What rent do you pay to be slamming
Yeah,
those doors?
yeah, literally, and it stops every time.
You better start
amazing.
leaving some change in the cushion if you're gonna be doing that.
Y'all ever seen the big Jesus poster in my basement?
I've never been in your basement.
I've never been to your basement, yeah.
So the people that lived in my house before me, they ran a Sunday school down there. My basement has god awful fucking vibes.
Really?
Anyone who's got any sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Experience.
Sensitive. If you're sensitive to those kind of things, you know what I mean? You walk down in my basement, you're gonna feel it immediately. I don't know what it is about that picture, but I will not take it down.
Really?
Yes, the energy around that picture, I won't touch it. I'm leaving it there. It's doing something for me.
That's kind of scary.
I don't know what, but it's been there all 7 years I've lived there.
Speaking of awful vibes, I need to tell you something. So for those, I have a Discord for like my streaming and like community thing, right? And it's called The Graveyard. But a friend of mine was telling us that they think their house is haunted and shit, but that they don't really mind it. Kind of like B.
Yeah.
But they were telling us about how like a lot of weird shit was left behind that needed to be trashed. And I'm about to show you, they sent this picture that I said I would have turned the fuck around and left right then. It was a cabinet or like an area that's just full of these creepy dolls and empty urns. Look at this shit. You guys can't see it.
I love it.
Describe this.
It's literally like a corner in a room full of porcelain dolls on 2 different shelves, completely full. And then there's a fucking table set out that literally is covered in urns, that look like they have ashes in them.
Yeah, apparently they were empty though, thankfully.
That's really interesting.
Maybe they just collected urns.
I love porcelain
And like I can
dolls.
see you collecting these dolls, so like it's just these specific kind of dolls freak me out.
That reminds me, my coworker was gifted a porcelain doll at work just because like Nobody wants this doll. Apparently, it gives off really bad vibes. I haven't gotten close enough to the doll to know.
Yeah.
But all I know is the jealousy I felt when there was a porcelain doll sitting on my coworker's desk. And I was like, I collect dolls.
Why not for me?
You're going to give it to her 7-year-old who's going to break it?
Oh, yeah, that does suck.
No, she didn't even. It's still in her car because it gives bad vibes. So...
Speaking of, I know we're trying to get moving on the episode, but that just reminded me of something else.
No, you're fine.
So I know I've told you guys about the porcelain dolls that I've had before,
Yeah.
and how the one would move until its legs broke and then it quit moving.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Those-
I tried to forget about that one, actually.
Those
Thanks
came
for that.
from my Nana.
Uh-huh.
And when
Thanks,
I was
Nana.
younger, my Nana and I built a dollhouse.
Oh, that's dope as shit.
Like all the little things and whatnot.
I love a good dollhouse.
That
as
was
creepy
supposed
as
to
they
come
are.
to me. I found out recently some not so great things happened to that dollhouse. Was given to some not so great people.
Oh.
And I am not fucking happy about it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Man, that sucks.
I want to make my own dollhouse. I really do.
It was so much fun. Like it was a big ass.
That's what I want.
house.
I don't know where the fuck I'd
And we
put
did all
it.
the little furniture and stuff.
Yeah,
and it
that's
was a lot of
exactly
fun.
what I want.
I think
Yeah.
dollhouses are really neat. I do also find them creepy, but that's probably because of media. Like,
Yeah.
you've got fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes about dollhouses, like, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I think dollhouses are really cool. Despite... It's only, like, porcelain human child-looking dolls that I really don't like.
They're the best.
And also those one, like, new age anime figure dolls that have the big ass eyes. I don't like those either.
I love
Love it.
them.
I
They're
know.
my
It's your guys'
favorite.
favorites.
Give
I
me
don't
a
like
big
them.
old bug eye.
Yeah,
a big old bug eye.
big old bug
I like a
eyes.
big eye when it doesn't look... It's like Uncanny Valley because the rest of the face looks like passably human, and then it's just big eyes. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I'd rather have big eyes over beady eyes.
That's fair.
I disagree. I
That's
think I'm the
fair.
opposite.
You like those Funko Pops?
Oh, but see, I like Funko Pops too.
Yeah, like-
Big beady eyes.
Yeah.
Big beady eyes.
beady eyes. All right, are we ready for my second story?
Yes.
Yeesh.
Cool. So again, no real preamble to this one, but it is from a new show that I haven't featured on the show on here yet. I'm sorry. Is there cat fur all over your feet now?
Yeah, but it's my fault for not wearing socks. So
I mean, I need to,
I hate socks.
I also need to vacuum in here, so like everywhere. The stairs are getting really bad with cat hair in the corners, so that's
Yeah.
probably on me for the most part. I need to vacuum. I'm just really lazy right now.
I took my
especially lately.
Benadryl today.
Yeah,
We're good.
Cool. Like, especially as dissociative as I've been lately, I've just have not been in the cleaning mood, but I need to. I know cleaning would make me feel better. Yeah.
Can I backtrack to the previous conversation?
Which one?
The one about the dolls and
Go
the
for it.
urns?
Go for
Okay.
it.
Sorry, I literally just opened my Discord because I got a notification and I accidentally clicked it.
Yeah.
And it popped up that fucking picture. How creepy is that, first of all, that is the thing that popped up?
The one that I was talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Percy. They posted it in my Discord as well.
Gotcha.
And one of my friends replied, like, about the urns, they got out.
Oh, no.
And I just...
That's if that room was in my house. That's what I would tell people when they come over.
They got out.
They got out. Yep. That's what I would say. Have each doll to match an urn. Yep.
Oh, God.
That's... I love that. All right, anyway, so the story. It
Yes.
is it's a new show that we haven't dived into yet. This show is called Hotel Paranormal. And so as you might guess,
Hotel Paranormal.
yeah, for real. So as you could probably guess, these are stories based in hotels, which I think is a great idea because so many people pass through hotels, so many
Yeah.
energies pass through hotels. People die in hotels all the time, way more than you'd
Yep.
like to admit.
People are created in hotels,
People are
too.
created in hotels,
Yep.
and some of these hotels have been around for like decades, like so long. You know what I mean? So obviously, I believe so many hotels are haunted. So, like obviously some more than others, but yeah. So, as told by the show Hotel Paranormal, I gave you the story The Bathroom.
I hate it already.
I thought you said the back rooms at first. I was like, hello?
If only. No, The Bathroom. Northeastern USA, 2015. British traveler Janet O'Carroll and her husband Nick check into a hotel that they think is absolutely beautiful. They really hit the jackpot this time. This would be the perfect place for them to relax before carrying on with their vacation. However, as they step off the elevator onto their floor, they start to have a little hesitation. Something feels strange, and they can't quite pinpoint what it is. As they get to their room, Nick tries to open the door, only to find that it would jam. Over and over again, they try to open this door, and over again, they would get it open a few inches before it would stop and go no further. Janet said that it was almost like somebody was standing against it trying to keep them out. Finally frustrated, and like the way it would jam, a usual door would usually jam like in the holder so far, right? But an inch in, that's different. That's like something's up against it. Finally, frustrated and out of breath, Nick says to Janet that they might have to go get someone from the reception desk to help them. The moment he says this, the door seems to release from the jam and just slowly creaks open all on its own. Red flag.
Yeah.
A little freaked out, the two enter the room. They checked but found that nothing had been blocking the door from behind, and there was no way someone could have been in the room messing with them. They were on the 14th floor up. It would have been a lot to go through for a prank. The couple calm themselves down a bit and start to admire the view from their window when a vintage-style radio that was in the room just turns itself on. What's even weirder about this is that after trying to figure out how to turn it off, Nick realizes that the radio isn't even plugged in. After relaying this to Janet, the radio goes quiet. The couple decide that rather than unpack, they're gonna go on a walk around the area. How about that? Maybe get a bite to eat. They didn't say it, but neither of them felt like being in that room at that moment. And I can't blame them. Later on, the couple had finally gotten comfortable in their room, and Janet says that she's gonna go down the hall, grab some ice from the ice machine. And she says that while in the hallway, Sorry, I misread that. Let me restart that. She says while in the hallway, she had let me try that one more time.
You're good. Take a breath.
She says while the hallway had a surprising amount of people, she couldn't help but feel like the air was a bit too still. More than feeling like she was alone in the hallway despite there clearly being people around. It almost felt like a suppressed sort of atmosphere. A really unbalancing feeling. Ahead of Janet, a man in a hotel uniform walked. He appeared to be holding a tray in front of him of some kind. Janet must have been walking a bit faster than he was, because she soon started gaining on him. Just ahead of her now, about a 2-person length, the employee turns a corner. As Janet turned the same corner just a moment later, she was shocked to see that the employee had vanished completely.
Bro turned into Spider-Man and went to the ceiling.
Poof.
In a 2-person, increment.
Yeah.
That's like me and B standing in front of you. B turns the corner, right?
Uh-huh.
Or somebody in front of, it'd technically be a 1, sorry, my bad. I forgot numbers, how they worked. So he completely vanished. She stands there as goosebumps cover her body. There was absolutely no place that man could have gone in time for her not to see him. Janet didn't consider herself an easily scared person, but the only thought she had was that she must have just seen a ghost. Janet grabs the ice and hurries back to her room, and as the night grew darker, so did the feeling in the couple's hotel room. As Janet lays in bed trying to sleep, she feels like she can almost feel the energy in the room grow deeper and denser to the point where it was almost like it was pressing down on her. Even though Nick had long fallen asleep, Janet couldn't help but feel like she wasn't alone in the room. She would look around the room and see these dark patches that she almost could tell herself were just shadows. But then when she would look back, moments later, they would have moved to a different area of the room. Janet wants to wake her husband, but knows that he would just think she's being stupid about it. She starts to feel a feeling of oppression fall over the room, and her eyes widen as, at the foot of her bed, a dark mist starts to appear.
Ugh.
The mist grows larger and larger and starts to faintly take the shape of what Janet thinks is a woman. Dread falls over her as she continues to watch this thing form, but Janet says that she almost feels like the dream wasn't coming from her. The dream... Wait. But Janet feels like she almost feels like the dream wasn't coming from her, but is being pressed on... I misspelled. Okay, so I meant to say dread. I was like, what the hell is dream doing here? A lot of typos in this one. I apologize, guys. Feels like the dread isn't coming from her, like the actual emotion, but it's being pressed onto her by this misty, shadowy woman. Like Janet was feeling her emotions.
Wow, Yorona.
Janet feels like the woman was beckoning her to follow her into the bathroom. And no matter how much Janet doesn't want to, she still finds her feet hitting the soft carpeted floor of her hotel room.
Oh, jeez.
The misty woman floats through the closed bathroom door, and Janet follows slowly, reluctantly. She doesn't want to open that door. She doesn't know how, but she knows that nothing good is behind that door. As her hand swings the door open against her will, the sight of red against the white tile of the bathroom floor meets her eyes.
Oh, dear.
The image of a body completely butchered beyond recognition wobbled in her vision. She can hear gurgling sounds coming from the body, painted in fresh blood on the ground. She blinks, and the scene is gone.
Oh my god.
Janet glances around her hotel room and sees a haze, the color of dirty nicotine was how she described it. What looks like a man covered in blood wheezes and groans in a chair before vanishing right before her eyes. Janet sits up in bed the rest of the night, unable to sleep due to the memory of what she had seen. And in the morning, she tells her husband about what had happened to her the night before, and convinces him to let them check out the hotel earlier than they had planned. While Nick didn't necessarily believe in ghosts as a whole, he didn't not believe his wife. He too had experienced the strangeness with the door and the radio the day before, after all. Janet feels like that misty woman was reaching out to her to tell her story. From what she saw and what she felt, Janet feels that as if that man that she saw may have been the partner of the misty woman, and that he had been brutally murdered in that hotel room. At the time of telling the story for the episode, 5 years had passed since the incident, and Janet still sees all the bloody details as clearly as she did that night, and she doesn't think that she will ever forget them.
Wow. I wish we had, like, answers. You know, I wish we knew, like, oh, I looked up a news article and there was a person murdered in this room and we never figured out who the murderer was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, something you gotta also, realize when it comes to, like, hotel stuff specifically, hotels have a very bad habit of not reporting deaths in their rooms. It's bad for business.
How does,
So it's not that they don't report it, it's that they don't advertise it, right? So it doesn't get out to the press usually, or a lot of times it doesn't. It's usually handled as like a silent thing. Same with like Disney deaths almost, because it would really hurt the image of a hotel to know that like a death every so often happened.
But a brutal murder?
Yeah. Especially a brutal murder. That would, yeah.
I understand like keeping it from the public, but my whole point is like, wouldn't they be forced? Like, if my loved one was murdered,
yeah,
I would make it a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, we don't know how long ago this happened. We don't know.
It's fair.
We don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the part that does suck about it. You're right. Mm-hmm. Is I would love to know more, because I was watching this story and I don't know about y'all, but my first thought was that bloody form on the ground was the woman that was leading her there. And then seeing this man who was also bloody, my thought was, is he the one that killed her? And so she could be wrong on that, but that's she was there, and so that's the feeling she got. So, but just hearing it, that was my interpretation. But again, I wasn't there. She was. I feel like she would know more about like the feelings that were happening, that kind of thing.
Right.
I originally also thought what you thought. I will say. So yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? I have one more, but I want to hear. I want to make sure I'm not like overpowering somebody's voice. Nothing. Okay. So my other thing was then that the description of that haze being described as like a dirty nicotine color is so descriptive.
It is.
To me, I'm like, oh, I get that. I know exactly what that is now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
I really liked that too because I saw it in my brain, you know?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah. It is nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
noticing.
it is nice. Trust me. You'll get there one day, probably. All right.
Probably not.
Are you guys ready for some pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
I surprisingly have one more picture for this one than I did the last one because I was like, okay, there was a little bit more details. So this first one is going to be the usual. This is Janet O'Carroll. This British lady traveling in America with her husband, and then this shit happened. This next one is a depiction from the show of what the mist forming into a woman might have looked like for her. Let me know when you guys get that one.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have any say on like the descriptions.
I've often wondered that too. I don't know. It would really depend on, obviously, you know, on who's making it, like the directors and stuff. But I assume, especially if there's like a time crunch, probably not. They probably just like, get in here, tell your story. All right, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe they could be giving more details. What do you got? But yeah, it's a little weird. I also imagine in reality the room would have been a lot darker than this picture is showing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, because this is showing it having plenty of light, so we can actually see it in the show.
Makes sense.
And then this last one, so they describe this vintage looking radio. And so I have a picture of what that radio most likely was that was in their hotel room. It's one of these.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love it. Like the
That's
cathedral door.
That's a
shape.
fucking Teddy Roosevelt radio.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
I love the cathedral door shape, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
No, yeah,
now
so
that would
like,
be something fun to collect if money was not an object.
if money and space wasn't a thing you had to worry about, old radios like that,
Yeah.
dope as hell.
Yeah.
And then in my brain, I'm like, then we're getting involved in a radio ghost somehow. Like, that's just what's happening. We're getting a bunch of radios.
Alistair, how'd you get here?
We're getting a bunch of radios from unknown locations, and they're just piling on together. And yeah.
Alistair, run.
Anyway, yeah. So those are my stories today.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Really?
Final thoughts on that one at all? Because like that, I think that one was like a little. Both of my stories, one more than the other, were just kind of like passing stories. Which like I want to include more of those too, because I think there are some that are really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did we ever find out how long they stayed in the hotel, or did I miss that?
It was one night.
Just one night.
Wow.
Wow.
They stayed that one night.
Oh.
They were supposed to stay longer, and she was like, "No, we got to go."
I would have a hard time ever staying in a hotel again after that.
No, for sure. If that was my experience, because the way that the image of the bloody mess, because the way she described it is you couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. You couldn't tell what kind of person this was. It was just blood and viscera, like that kind of stuff. Like, I couldn't imagine. No, I would never stay in a hotel again, ever.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Are we ready for what I have?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Floor's all yours.
This is. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to spend the night at a hospital?
Yep.
Yeah, plenty. Unfortunately.
Hospitals are filled with all kinds of energy due to illness, treatments, and death.
I can't stand hospitals for that reason. Because I don't know anybody else. I feel that shit. Like, more than others, I can... It's like there's like a buzzing energy almost in hospitals.
It's not just the fluorescence, baby.
It's not just the fluorescence. No, it's actually worse when it's darker. Like,
yeah. So have you ever experienced anything paranormal while in a hospital? You kind of answered that already.
So, yeah, besides that, no.
The energy.
Not really. Yeah, go ahead.
What about you, B?
Well, the last time I was admitted to the hospital, it was because I overdosed on Tylenol.
Damn.
So I was
Out.
focused on that.
I probably don't know if anything you saw was paranormal or real. So,
Or Tylenol
a
induced.
hallucination, yeah.
Well, it wasn't that I was hallucinating. It's that I was like violently. This is gonna get TMI. It might be gross. Just skip ahead a few seconds if you don't want to listen about bodily fluids.
I don't want to listen about bodily fluids.
You don't either. Okay, then I won't tell you. Don't worry about it.
You were vomiting a lot, huh?
And peeing myself while vomiting.
That
I could not
sucks.
It was uncontrollable.
That
It
sounds
was really
awful.
bad.
Sucks.
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
No, that's not. That's
I have
not
a
too
vomit
graphic. That should
phobia,
be
but
fine.
I've been getting better about being okay with hearing about it. You know, it's
Also, saying just that's not too graphic.
witnessing.
That should be fine.
Yeah, witnessing the vomit itself is a lot different. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or noises. That's different too.
Yep. Let's move on. So,
Sorry.
That's okay. So this next allegedly true encounter is written by someone whose answer to both of my questions is yes.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Let's.
I've titled this The Hospital Window. It was written by the username Jubile, really. Jubeele. The date that they published this was April 21st of 2024.
Oh shit.
Recent.
That's really recent. Yeah.
And the country was Australia. And the paranormal category is haunted places, as you probably could have guessed, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So, all right. My health had not been the best for the past few years. I had made several trips to doctors and specialists trying to find out what was wrong. At the end of September 2022, I was sent for a whole barrage of tests, including an electrocardiogram, or as you know, like an EKG, ECG, to measure my heart's electrical activity and a full blood count. That very night, we received an urgent call from the doctor about the worrying test results. Rex rushed me to the emergency department at the hospital. The nurse on duty took one look at me and said that my pallor was dangerously gray. Pallor is like basically skin color, like your tone.
Is that sometimes also referred to as palate?
I'm
Or
not too
palate?
sure. I thought palate was more like a taste thing.
You're probably correct. I just think I've heard that like that before, but I could be wrong.
It's possible.
Palate, though. Okay.
Over the next 14 hours, I would be given 2 blood transfusions along with a bag of plasma. While I was waiting for a room to be prepared in the ward upstairs, the woman in the next bed became angry at the nurses. The doctors had requested more tests and scans for her, and she was not pleased that they could not diagnose her recurring ailments. Her scolding voice soon rose in volume, getting the attention of everyone on the floor. By that time, it was close to midnight. The agitation level was almost at a palpable presence in the place. I felt chilled and did not feel it was due to my low blood count. "I want to see the doctor now!" screeched the irate woman. Beep, 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 beep. The monitoring devices went haywire all at once, emitting alarms and sounds of mechanical distress at every single bed.
Jesus.
It was absolute chaos. Nurses were hurrying from bed to bed, frantically pressing buttons to stop the ear-splitting blaring and trying to reset each monitor. All the while, the woman carried on a relentless tirade, steamrolling over the nurses' attempts to calm her down. Rex and I looked at each other in bewilderment. What was going on? Eventually, the head nurse managed to placate? Is that how you say it?
Placate.
Placate her. She arranged for the woman's discharge and assured her that any further tests could be done as an outpatient. It was rather odd how all the machines on the floor subsided to quieter beeps once she left the emergency department. Hospitals are never the most comfortable place to be. It was early morning and Rex had gone home by the time they got me into a room on the 4th floor. I was attached to uncomfortable tubes and a heart monitor. My arm was aching from the, is it cannula? I don't know what that word is. Cannula? Yeah, it's one of the things that was plugged into him.
Cannula.
Yeah,
Oh,
cannula.
okay.
Thank you.
Cool, 'cause I had no idea.
Cannula. And my limbs felt weak and rubbery. But I was still in a much better state than the elderly woman in the next room. During the nurse's handover at the change of shift, I overheard one say to the other that the patient had been refusing her food. They were currently trying to get her into palliative care. If you don't know, palliative care is basically end-of-life care.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I did not know that. Thank you.
But it was probable that she might not last long enough by the time there was an available bed. Sadly, beyond making her as comfortable as possible, they could do nothing more. Sleep was impossible that night. My lower back hurt, and I could not figure out how to adjust the bed. The temperature in the room had gone quite cold. It was unusual for me to be bothered by the air conditioning. I normally liked the cold, and the nurse had made me comfortable for the night, wrapping me up like a cozy burrito in cotton blankets. The lights at my bed were turned off, with the door left ajar for the duty nurse to be able to check on me at a glance from the bright hallway. I could hear the constant rasping and wheezing noises from next door. That poor woman's labored breathing sounded especially loud in the stillness of the night. It reminded me horribly of a death rattle.
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like during the time I had sat vigil years ago for my father and Rex's mother. My vision had gotten accustomed to the dim lighting. A movement to my left caught my eye. I blinked once, twice, but the image was still there at the window. It was a slight-built woman, or young girl, dressed in a black gown and a wide-brimmed black hat. Her face was pale, the features hidden in a shadow by a gauzy veil. So there's a gauzy veil with this hat, right? From the hat. A coat was draped over her shoulders like a cloak. From the angle of her head, she was peering in at me. For a moment, I thought it was a visitor who had gone for a walk outside, taken a wrong turn in the dark, and was trying to find the entrance back to the ward. Then, I remembered that the room was 4 stories above the ground.
Oh, shit.
There it is, yep.
Was she an otherworldly visitor? But I did not feel any malice from her, only a vague sense of curiosity. On a whimsical impulse, I waved to the lady in black, acknowledging that I knew she was there. Then I quickly turned on the bedside light. The figure was gone. Getting out of bed, I scanned the room for any object that could be reflected in the glass. There was nothing that matched the figure. The closest thing in height was the IV stand, but it was too thin. It was also near the door, which meant its reflection was in the wrong position. When I mentioned this to the night nurse in passing, she vehemently declared that such things never happened there. She looked so thoroughly scared that I decided not to say anything further on the incident. The hospital was a fairly new one, but there had already been a number of reported mortalities there. In the morning, I checked the scenery outside the window. It overlooked the rooftop of a nearby building, a car park, and the main road in the distance. There was nothing that could have formed a dark shape like the night before. The ledge running along the side was too narrow for even Spider-Man to stand on tippy toes there. The patient was still there in the next room, her condition unchanged, but I did not get another chance to see if the lady in black would reappear in the night. My daily blood tests were showing that my blood count was much improved. Oxygen saturation and erratic heart rate had stabilized. By late afternoon, the doctors decided to send me home for recovery and to be scheduled for surgery at a later date. That night, as part of my bedtime routine, I did my online crossword. One of the crossword clues read, "You look like you've just seen a ghost."
Huh.
That's the end.
I want to know what that nurse knows.
No, because that nurse knows something.
I want to know what she knows.
No, that was my last note is, and I quote, "Nurse was a lying fool." So, no, yeah, that nurse definitely knows, because, like, I don't know a single nurse that I've talked to, which isn't much, that would 100% say, no, nothing paranormal has ever happened in the hospital I work in.
Right.
Yeah. And I used to date a nurse for a little bit, or, like, someone in that field. Like, no, that's just not a... Yeah. But they also probably have to say that. You know what I mean? Like, they're probably not allowed to just go around advertising, "Oh, yeah, there's ghosts here." You know what I mean?
It also didn't feel comforting.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like she was like, no, what are you talking about? No.
Like, almost like she's in denial.
Yeah, for sure. Which is also possible.
Yeah.
So, I've got a few notes here. Woman with a question mark at the end, woman caused the electrical issues? Isn't like, is there something around that? Also, you kept saying, like, next room. Are they in, like, actual separate rooms? Or is it, like, the same room with curtains?
No,
I assume
it's actual
separate rooms, right?
Yeah.
Then that's crazy being able to hear her breath from that far away.
Yeah.
That's like insane.
To be fair, they're not very thick walls.
That's fair.
And a death rattle is pretty fucking loud.
Yeah. One more time, could you, to your best ability, you don't have to like go back in your like story or whatever. Can you describe to me what the like, or at least make sure I have this description of that window visitor girl correct?
So she was slight built. So
Slight
to
built,
me,
yeah.
that meant like
Like skinnier.
thinner.
Yeah, skinnier.
She was dressed in all black.
Okay.
She had a wide brimmed hat.
Okay, that's the one I was like, okay. I thought hat, but I was thinking like
Wide brimmed black
wide-brimmed
hat
hat.
with a veil.
with a veil, but you said it was a gauzy veil.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives me the idea of like bandages almost, right?
Maybe, but it's a veil. It's not really wrapped
what I'm-
tightly around skin. It's just
Sure,
the material.
sure.
Maybe it was like more jagged, and that's why they said gauzy. Does that make sense?
Hold on. Let me make sure there's not another word for
I was gonna
Because
say-
gauze is thicker than tulle. And usually a veil is made out of tulle.
Yeah.
So it would be like a little heavier, a little... I'm not sure what the word is I'm looking for.
Gauzy. Describe something made of or resembling sheer, or thin, sheer, and lightweight fabric like gauze. So, I was kind of right, but also very wrong. It doesn't look like gauze. It's just thin like gauze.
It could have also just been a normal veil, and
Yeah.
they're from Australia. They could just be describing it as gauzy. You know what I mean?
No, it's very fair. Because in my brain, I'm thinking of like literal gauze hanging off the hat of this woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's freaky.
I'm sitting here like, is it like party streamers? Is it just like
Uh-huh.
one big sheet of gauze? Like,
But hearing
what is happening?
But hearing it like that, so it is just a thin veil. Mm-hmm. I say just as if that's not also creepy. But like that was my first, like seeing that in through your window. Do you think she was here for the woman next door? Do you think maybe that's like a version of death?
the
maybe?
Grim Reaper
like
herself.
a Grim Reaper type character.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one with the ragged breathing, that's the one that was yelling earlier, right? Is it the same person or is that a different person?
It's a different person.
Okay.
So the woman
So
that was
then
yelling
that's a
was in
different-
the emergency room.
Gotcha. So that's a different thing entirely then.
Then
because,
after, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because what's going on now that these electrical malfunctions are happening to like, because this woman's like
Irate,
right?
Mm-hmm.
That almost feels like almost like a psychic-y poltergeisty type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it's connected to her specifically, which because I was trying to wrap it up in like a nice little bow, like because if it was the same person, maybe that was caused by this follower or this like entity as well. But it's not. It's different, and that makes it a little bit more interesting because this person potentially experienced multiple different paranormal experiences in one night in one hospital.
Yep.
That had nothing to do with each other, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even if this woman, if this visitor, this peeping Tom, was, because what if she was looking in trying to find the dying woman? Like, what if she was this Grim Reaper-like character? She's looking in trying to find this dying woman, and she accidentally just looks in the wrong one.
Or maybe OP himself was kind of in bad shape, and she was checking in on him.
Maybe that's a little more speculating than like, because we don't really have that type of information, I guess.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
It's a theory, a game theory.
I do want to point out, like, when she was looking in the window and they were blinking and woman wasn't going away, B looked at me and was like, there are rules. However, I do want to point out, she technically did follow the rule. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
yeah,
moment
turn
the light,
to turn
the
the
moment the light
light.
got turned on, she was gone. I was like, all
Yep.
right, you know what? You know ball. That's fine. You pushed it a little bit, but you got
Yep.
there, and that's
You
fine.
know ball.
Yep.
And then the last note I had is hospital sleep is best sleep. Because as much as I hate hospitals, I will say I have never gotten better sleep than when I was staying overnight in a hospital, at least personally.
Really?
Yes, and I think the reason for it is there's nothing else I can do here. I don't have to worry about anything. I just have to focus on sleeping.
I think it's too unsettling for me to
That's
sleep.
fair.
And uncomfortable. I want to be in my own bed. I lay. You know how I lay.
Yeah.
I'm very erratic.
That's fair.
I rotate like a gas station hot dog, baby.
Yeah. I start out on my side, I go to my back for full sleep, and I wake up and I go on my other side. So I do like a from
You're like a
sleep to wake rotation almost.
I almost said omelet, but that's not right.
I have too much anxiety about the nurses coming in and checking on me.
Yeah.
So I wake up.
Just there you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
So I wake up every time they come into the rooms. I cannot get
That's
a good
fair.
night's sleep at the hospital.
So both of those perspectives are also fair. I'm just talking about me specifically because I don't mind that. Because to me, I'm like, they're doing their jobs. They got do what they got to do. I'm going to focus on sleep. And it's the only time I ever really get to do that. I don't have to worry about waking up for work. I don't have to worry about like doing anything myself. Food will be brought to me. Just sleep. And they wrap you up in those blankets real good. They may not be the comfiest blankets, but boy, am I cozy.
See, even if I'm just in the emergency room, not even admitted, just in the emergency room feels like the longest fucking thing, laying in that fucking bed. Like when I injured my ankle and I was laying there in pain, I was so, like, obviously, yeah, I was in pain, right? But even after they gave me the medicine, I was so uncomfortable. I wanted to go home. I hated the hospital bed. I just, like, I want to be in my own comfortable space.
See, for me, that's a different issue entirely. Like, that's a different conversation because you're not staying overnight. You're not meant to sleep. I'm just talking about you are admitted. You have to stay here overnight for one thing or another. And getting sleep
I was more or less talking about the comfortability of the bed.
Sure.
Yes.
But they're also different beds, I believe.
Oh, I don't know.
I think the bed you were on is completely different.
I don't think I've ever had to stay. Well, I've had to stay the night in the hospital, but not for myself. So that's not comfortable either. At
my local hospital, the beds in the ER are different than the beds on the floors.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. I've had to stay overnight in the hospital a couple different times. Once I had to stay multiple days because for my appendix back in the day, like when I was younger. And so that was cool. I guess
I'll never forget when I went in for the Tylenol overdose.
Yeah.
When my doctor finally came into my room, he looked at me and he goes, "I don't know how you're still alive."
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you are.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very happy that you are.
Yeah.
That shit ain't no joke.
No, there were a lot of people that came into my room making sure that it genuinely was an accident, and I'm like, yes, literally, I have an abscess tooth, and I was trying what I could to get rid of the pain. I did not do this on purpose.
Which I can't blame you for that. I can't blame you for that at all.
Yeah.
Especially teeth pain. I don't fuck with that shit.
I wasn't paying attention to my hours, and I was doing Tylenol and Motrin.
Yeah.
And it just got to where I couldn't take it anymore, and I just kept taking it. I took 2 weeks worth of Tylenol in the span of 3 days. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Follow the dosages on your bottles, please.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
No, for real. You gotta pay attention to that shit. No, yeah. Yeah, I like that story, though. It was really creepy.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys ready for
pictures? Oh, right.
So this first one is just like the outside of a hospital, right? But it's the windows. So you just imagine like the figure floating or however it was outside the window here. It's not exactly the 4th floor. You can't really tell what floor it is because there's no ground.
Love how ominous that looks.
Yeah.
I will say that was another note I had is like I erased it because you answered it, but when she appeared I was like, what floor are we on? What floor is this? And they said 4th floor. I was like, that's too high. That's too high up.
Because if you remember, when he said he got admitted, he mentioned to the 4th floor as well.
I did not remember that.
So it was mentioned a couple of times, but it's easy to forget because it's such like a small detail at the time. You know what I mean? And then I used my Photoshop skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
And created. It's lighter outside, but it's not going to be perfect.
Sure.
But it's the window with the lady in it.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, look at you go.
Oh, dear me, is that freaky, actually.
The hands.
So what's funny is like when you zoom in, you can kind of see where the Photoshop had, but just from like the picture initially, that's actually really freaky.
Yes. Like I said,
I love when you use your Photoshop
I think it's silly.
because we get really good shit like this.
So the veil itself was supposed to be hanging from the hat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
what
couldn't,
it sounded like.
Yeah, I couldn't find the exact thing I needed at the time, and I made these while I was at work.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not a problem at all. Is that your final picture? You got more?
I believe that was it.
All right. Good story. I like that one a lot.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I like this episode's theme of just having like a bunch of like smaller one night encounters almost. Well, except for that first one. That was like an extended stay. But
Yeah. Sorry, I got it.
Big yawning over there. But B, what have you got for us today?
Good boy. I got a story about chicken tenders.
Chicken
You know
tenders.
what? That sounds wonderful.
I was digging around the Wholesome Stories subreddit,
As you do.
and I came across this story titled Random Memory About the Sweetest Chicken Strip Lady Ever.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Around 15 years ago, I was a manager at a fast food place that used a smiling star logo and, let's say, suggestive commercials. You know what they're
Hardee's?
talking about?
Is that Hardee's?
Yep.
All right.
I call them Carl's Jr. That's what I know them as.
Oh,
It's a smaller town, so most of our regulars were a group of like a dozen retired folks that would have their breakfast and lunch with us, and after a week, employees could recognize the majority of them by the name. They'd always introduce themselves to the new kids. We had recently started doing hand-breaded chicken, which was a pain when some rando would try to get 80 tendies at a drive-thru and get mad we didn't have them ready to go. The fuck? But otherwise,
No, for
not at
real.
all bad. Well, we had one elderly customer that would come in at like 1 p.m. 3 times a week like clockwork, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every time she would very timidly only order a 20-piece chicken tender with no flour, no milk, no egg, no batter. Just please take 20 plain chicken strips and deep fry them. I was the first one to ever take this order, so I just thought whatever, okay, must be doing low carb. She looked over the freaking moon to get that to-go box of unseasoned chicken hunks. Like I said, she came back 3 times a week, and a lot of the times, I'd have to leave the office to advise my staff that there's no button for bare chicken. Just tell the cook. But some of them would get pissed, especially if it was during a middle of the day rush. But I'd take them aside a bit later and basically say, if that was your grandma, would you be pissed? 99% of the time, it was an eye-rolling, well, no. I started to notice she was getting a little skinnier and shakier when she came in. So I'd engage more, ask how she was doing, etc. And she was always the sweetest, but she never told us about that freaking plain chicken. Hadn't seen her in about 2 months, when in comes a woman pushing bare chicken Grammy in a wheelchair. They come to the counter and the woman says, I know this is strange, but can I get... I cut her off and said, 20-piece chicken, no breading? She looked like she wanted to cry and just said, oh my god, thank you. Can you make it 40? We can wait, just my mom's dogs don't want to eat their food unless she crumbles up your chicken. We tried canned food and they're being snobs. I'd really hoped she wasn't eating 20 bare chicken strips every couple of days on schedule all this time. But when I found out she just had 4 super spoiled corgis, I liked her even more. About a year later, her daughter came in to tell us she had passed on and to thank us for being so kind to her mom. I don't remember, but knowing me, I probably went to the office for a mini cry, and over the next week I had to break the news to my regular lunch staff. I still love knowing that our group of weirdos helped make her and her 4 babies happy all that time.
That's a
Yeah.
sweet story. Those dogs were fucking round.
Yep.
Sorry, I was laughing, and then I saw Dalia be like, "Oh," I was like, "Wait a minute, what happened?" And I my brain caught up with you saying that she passed. I was like, "Oh."
He was just
'cause I'm
visualizing
picturing
fat
these fucking
corgis.
bowling ball ass dogs rolling their ass around like you're Chickman. Because they only got started on that because she was like, I'm gonna see if they like this chicken, and then they won't eat without it. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, all right, you did this, I get it.
Yep.
And if you got the money, I guess whatever, fuck it, right? But
Yeah.
Yep.
that's so funny. These bowling ball ass dogs rolling around.
Yep. So, for our pictures,
Yeah.
I got to thinking, I was like, okay, what does having 4 corgis look like? Because I had a lot of pugs growing up,
Yeah.
and that was just the best thing ever.
I love
and I'm like,
pugs.
oh, great, what does this look like?
Pugs are great. My favorite dog is a basset hound, but I love corgis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So I found this picture. This is from USA Today's Corgi Race and Costume Contest.
look at
Oh
how
my
tiny them legs
goodness.
are.
And I'm sure you're saying, well, B, where's the costumes? Those
The
are just
stump
dogs and
race.
ascots.
The stumpy
Well,
race.
my friends, here are 4 of my favorite costumes from that event.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We've got a Batman. We've got an airplane. We have another airplane with a flight stewardess.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a fucking Labubu corgi.
Not the Labubu corgi.
This might be the first time we have 2 pictures in the category or in the final like good picture thing. Because usually I can squeeze them all into one with like
Yep.
what I do. I may still be able to, but I don't know for sure if I can.
Yep.
So that'll be really fun.
I love this.
This is adorable.
Yeah. The second I seen that it was corgi race and costume contest, I was like, oh, I gotta click that article and read it.
Oh yeah, I
hope there's pictures.
got an
There was.
article to read. Yeah.
And I did.
B, what are you doing? I'm doing work for my job. Yeah. I'm doing work for my podcast job.
Yeah.
I like the first airplane because he's got sunglasses on.
Yes, little shades.
Oh, he knows he looks cool.
Yeah, he does.
In his mind, he's a fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah. Do, 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 do.
That's adorable. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We went to the Asian Food Fest recently, as Brandon mentioned earlier, and there was a lot of dogs, right? There was dogs in like
Of
all
course.
kinds of hats. They
Yeah.
were so
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
But there was one, I was Tara and I were sitting like on the wall just waiting for them to get some taiyaki, and this little baby pug is scampering on, and I just go, oh my god, look at you, you're so precious. And the owner goes, you want to say hey? And I was like, yes I do. And next thing I know, this pug is crawling on me.
Oh my
It's in my arms,
gosh.
licking me, like just the cutest freaking little pugs, man.
I love I miss you.
I want.
Me and Josh, there was a couple times we got lost because they would stop and we would just keep going and then look back like, oh, there they are. But one of those times we got distracted because there was a corgi that walked by in a little propeller hat.
Oh my
I was like,
In
oh,
a backpack,
God.
wasn't he?
yeah, I think he had a backpack on too.
Oh, that's precious.
No, when we
Oh, he
saw
was in a backpack.
When we saw the corgi with the propeller hat, he was in a backpack.
Yeah, that you're right. Okay.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
My husband has taken to clipping a balloon on me when we go out in public.
Effective. Dare I say necessary?
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs one.
I'm an eloper. I just kind of go.
I don't need one.
You know who needs one? Josh needs one.
Josh and me are tall. You can just see us.
Yeah. They're easy to spot in a crowd.
Not in a big ass crowd like that. Sometimes.
Sometimes. I think if Josh would have taken off his hat, the glare from the sun on his bald head would have allowed us to
Bald.
Bald.
Baldy.
Love that
He's
man.
bald. And he's
Oh,
making
yeah.
fun of people with hair.
We got our Cambodian chicken skewers. Oh, good
God.
shit. I can't find the restaurant. I took a picture of the name. I can't find it anywhere. Nowhere
Really?
online. I don't know what it is. It's like it only exists for this.
Wow.
But they have these Cambodian chicken skewers that are laminated, that are marinated in lemongrass and like coconut juice, and it is the best chicken I've ever heard, or I've ever had, not heard.
That sounds fantastic.
It's so good. Oh, we met
They are really
we met the Hood News guy.
Yeah, who
From
knew
TikTok.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hilarious scales.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's our show today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. It's very good to be back and
That was
doing
a great
this.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, I always, by the time we get around to doing new recording sessions, I'm like, God, I really miss doing this. But yeah, so you can find us on our social medias, which are Instagram, Blue Sky, but not Twitter because
Fuck Twitter.
Twitter. We're also on TikTok and YouTube and
Instagram.
Facebook. I already said Instagram.
Oh.
Facebook is there too. We have a Facebook. That's right. I think that's about it. And if you have your own stories that you want to send in, we have us read, whether they be scary or wholesome, funny, whatever, like real things that happen to you, you can send them into TPIBOTE at Outlook.com. So that's TPIBOTE at Outlook.com. If they are paranormal stories or things that have happened to you, you can put in the subject there for Dalia. That's Dalia.
No H.
No H. And if they are wholesome, funny, happy experiences for us to end off on, you can put in the subject there for B. That's BEE, not BEA. I don't know why you would spell it like that, but it's BEE, like the bug. And thank you for that. And yeah, I
Sound wave.
Looks like a stinger on a bee.
And if you like what we do, please take the time to rate and review us. You can review us on our Facebook page and on Apple Music, and you can rate us on Spotify and Apple Music. And anywhere else, if there's a way to leave a comment, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your feedback. I think that's it. Would anyone like to be the one to lead us out, or do I need to do it?
I can do it.
Okay. Do I need to do it?
You're staring me down. Like,
well, B was shaking her head. So, like...
Be shy.
I'm
Be
shy.
so shy. Liar. Fucking liar.
I'm the most famous fucker I know.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for coming around for another episode of the Tippy Boat Podcast. And as always, this podcast was based on true events.